Today I'm at Manhattan Motor Cars in New York City to check out the 2021 $2.7 million Lamborghini Sian Hypercar, as well as the other cars in their inventory. So let's go check them out. So here it is, the first supercapacitor-based hybrid V12 hypercar. As the fastest and most powerful Lamborghini ever, the Sian, which means lightning in Bolognese, is a special beast and only 63 examples will be made, all of which are already sold. Like the Veneno and Centenario, the new Sian is a hypercar built off a heavily modified Aventador, only now it's a hybrid. So the Sian is the bridge between the Aventador and the Aventador's eventual replacement. Just as the Reventon previewed the Aventador while on a Murcielago frame, the Sian embodies everything Lamborghini will adopt on a future flagship. Inspired by the Lamborghini Countach, the Sian has sharp lines and an unmistakable silhouette. It has a completely carbon fiber body, an electrochromic roof, and moving surfaces controlled by smart materials. It even has Terzo Millennio-inspired headlights. Look how cool those are. The V12 powered hybrid produces 807 horsepower with combined thermal and electric power, including what Lamborghini claims is the world's first use of a supercapacitor in a hybrid. Lamborghini claims a 0 to 62 mile per hour time of less than 2.8 seconds and a top speed of 218 miles per hour. The engine itself is the 6.5 liter naturally aspirated V12 that makes 774 horsepower, which is 15 more than the Aventador SVJ, making it the most horsepower from a Lamborghini engine ever. The Sian engineers claim quicker mid-range acceleration, better response between shifts, and additional torque off the line up to 81 miles per hour. The Sian employs cutting-edge technology everywhere, not only in the world's first supercapacitor hybrid system. It has a carbon fiber monocoque, titanium intake valves, active aerodynamics, and rear wheel steering. Based on the Terzo Millennio concept from 2017, the Sian uses a single supercapacitor stored in the bulkhead to store and expel electrical energy. This is a setup Lamborghini has used since 2011 in conventional Aventador models to run their giant starter motors. In the Sian, the supercapacitor, which unlike a battery can only store energy temporarily and release it in short bursts, has 10 times the capacity of the 12-volt battery. One of the coolest parts about the Sian is what's called Lamborghini Smart Material System, or LSMS. So at the back of the engine hood, there's autonomous vent flaps actuated by smart materials that are temperature sensitive by nature. So as you can see, these are the autonomous vent flaps. So simply put, these are rear cooling vents that rotate using the exhaust heat. Unlike other 48-volt hybrids where the electric motor can only provide assistance with the gasoline engine running, Lamborghini claims the Sian is the first such hybrid where the motor, integrated into Lamborghini's 7-speed automated manual gearbox, can power the wheels on its own at low speeds. So if you couldn't already tell by now, the Lamborghini Sian is a very technologically advanced, cutting-edge hypercar. A few things that should be a part of the next generation include the sideways Y-shaped running lamps, as you can see up front here, which are integrated into the carbon ductwork. Also a part of the next generation are air inlets built into the headlight housings. Here you can see the electrochromic glass fixed on the monocoque roof. And the Sian has electrically powered active aero, so you can see the rear wing here. It's currently up, and this wing moves as you're driving the car depending on what speed you're going. At the back you've got 6 separate taillights that appear to float within the engine's radiator vents. I think these taillights look amazing. They look like they're suspended in the air, and there's carbon fiber around them. If you know anything about Lamborghini, you know they're obsessed with putting hexagons all over their cars, and that's especially evident at the back of the Lamborghini Sian around these exhaust pipes and for the molding near the backup camera. So taking a look at the outside of the Lamborghini Sian, it's painted in a very fascinating matte color called Verde Gea with Oro Electrum or rose gold accents. So you've got the rose gold accents on the wheels, which look amazing. They really pop here, as well as at the front. And if we come around the side of the car, you'll see more of those accents on the mirrors, on the side rocker panel, and at the back. There's also rose gold right here for the fuel cap, which says Benzina on it, Italian for fuel. And you've got the Italian flag colors right here. From what I've seen online, this is a very controversial spec. I've seen some people say they find it disgusting and they don't like the look of this spec. And I've seen other people find it absolutely gorgeous and beautiful. So I'm really curious what you guys think of it. There's exposed carbon fiber all over this car. You can see it here for these fender vents that release pressure from the wheel wells. You can also see it here and here. There's a massive air intake on the side right behind the door here, and that has exposed carbon fiber as well. More vents back here. I mean, how cool do those look? The Sian is just breathtaking. Another air intake right there to cool down the engine. More exposed carbon fiber with 63, the year that Lamborghini was founded, and a lot of exposed carbon here for the engine cover. The engine cover is open, so you can actually see the naturally aspirated V12 engine. You can see the plaque there that says V12 with the firing order of the cylinders, and of course that is carbon fiber on the engine as well as bronze. And if you want to take the engine cover off to display your engine, the Sian comes with a key that you put in these holes on either side to remove the cover. Something really neat that I just noticed while I was looking at the back of this car, not only is there exposed carbon fiber here, when the wing is flat you wouldn't even see that, but also when the wing is flat you wouldn't even see that Sian branding right there. So now that we checked out the outside of the Lamborghini Sian, let's take a look at its interior. I currently have both doors up, and you can see on that door there's saddle leather with black Alcantara and exposed carbon fiber, glossy carbon fiber, which looks great. You can really see the carbon fiber body once the doors are up. You've got this Sian door sill that is illuminated. And then taking a look at the interior, you've got saddle leather with white piping, a Lamborghini badge on the passenger side of the dashboard, cross-stitching all throughout this interior, and Sian is stitched into both sides of the center tunnel. Above the two seats, you can see that glass panel, the electrochromic roof, that reminds me of Skyview on Bugattis. Like the Bugatti Chiron Sport over there, Skyview is a $62,000 option for that car. So there's two glass panels on top of the car to let light fill the cabin. So that's pretty much the same idea for this electrochromic roof in this Sian. And what's cool, the fact that it's electrochromic means it can block out the sunlight whenever it wants with the touch of a button. So if you're driving and you notice there's too much light pouring into your Lamborghini Sian cabin, you press a button and it dims the amount of light that comes inside. The steering wheel features smooth leather with Alcantara inserts on each side. You've got a white 12 o'clock marker on the top of the steering wheel and a little Italian flag on the bottom of it. Whereas the Aventador SVJ features buttons on the steering wheel, the Sian does not. It is completely distraction free. You won't find a single button on here, just glossy carbon fiber, which looks amazing. You've also got glossy carbon fiber for the paddle shifters on the steering column, and you've got stalks on the steering column as well. You've got these switches on the left-hand side for lighting. Because this is a high-performance super sports car, there are no carpets or floor mats in this car, just these foot plates which feature carbon fiber. And you can see all along the side of the center tunnel, there's carbon skin to enhance the appearance of this interior. While most of the interior features glossy carbon fiber, there's matte carbon fiber on the instrument cluster here, and the Sian does have a fully digital instrument cluster. On the center control stack, you've got tons of shiny carbon fiber with more rose gold accents. Even the cover for the engine start-stop button is rose gold, which I really like. You've got a plaque that says 1 of 63. Above the plaque, there's a vertical touchscreen like in the Huracan Evo, which replaces the decade-old Audi A4 technology, and there's also new leather and stitching patterns for the seats, door inserts, and dash to spice up this aging cabin. Now it's time to talk about the price. So the Lamborghini Sian starts at $2.6 million, and this specific car has over $100,000 in options for a grand total of $2.7 million. For reference, that Chiron Sport across the hall costs $3.8 million, but that has a W16 engine and 1,500 horsepower. This only has 807 horsepower. Taking a look at the other cars in the Lamborghini showroom, we've got 3 different Huracans, 2 of which are all-wheel drive. This Verde Mantis example and this Rosso Mars example, and this one in the center is rear-wheel drive, and you can tell because of that front bumper, which is different than all-wheel drive's front bumper. Upstairs in the Porsche showroom, we've got a Porsche 911 Carrera GTS in a color called Club Blue. The color on this car is so gorgeous, and this car in general is so gorgeous. Of course it is, because it's a Porsche 911. On the first floor of the Porsche showroom, there's a car that I've shown in many of my other videos, the Porsche 911 Turbo S Exclusive Series Coupe in golden yellow metallic. At the time of its release, it was the most powerful 911 Turbo S ever created, producing 607 horsepower, which is 27 more than the standard Turbo S. And because of this, the price is quite steep. There's only 500 coupes, which makes it quite rare, and the price is $319,000. I'm currently at the downtown location of Manhattan Motor Cars with this 2008 Koenigsegg CCX. This car is a manual. The price is $1.595 million, so basically $1.6 million. This is a great collector car, very clean spec. And over here we've got another $1.6 million car, the 2019 Rimac Concept 1 in Riviera Blue, with a cognac gold interior. These two cars couldn't be more different. This is all electric, over 1,000 horsepower. Very interesting design. If anyone didn't know, Rimac is actually based in Croatia, and they make a lot of electric batteries for all sorts of cars, not just their own. So would you guys rather get the Rimac or the Koenigsegg? So that was my visit to Manhattan Motor Cars in New York City. If anyone's interested in a Lamborghini, come see Viviana and she'll help you out. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.